Here's something more shocking than realizing that Maggie is founded in Switzerland and not in Singapore or Malaysia. Do you know that car sharing is so popular in Singapore, its user penetration is one of the highest in the world at about 7%. Yeah, this is why we have often seen this car in Singapore. But how much do you know about them and why is their insurance assets are so expensive? Watch on and then you understand. So, before anything, here's yet another shocker. Sometimes renting a car sharing car can be cheaper than taking a private hire car. Let's just do the math. On average, let's say you need to go a few places on a weekend morning. You need to send your daughter to her piano lesson, your wife to her manicure, your son to her taekwondo lesson, and you also need to go for an RT session because you eat too much kohui. So if everyone takes private hire, each ride can be like $20, and there could be about 8 rides in total, which is like over $160. But if you just book a car sharing car and then drive everyone around, it could be just about $20 to $40, and with petrol, it won't be over $50 in total. So you can see how much you can save. Heck, even if you work in CBD from 8 AM to 5 PM, it might be cheaper or about the same. Because during peak hours, the morning PHV fares could go up to a crazy $45, and then coming back could be another $45. Hey, don't challenge me, I can't many times. That's a total of $90. You can book a car sharing car for $65 from 7 AM to 6 PM, and with petrol, it could be about $75. And you also get to drive the car the entire day. So, depending on the situation, car sharing can be cheaper than taking private hire, although there's one problem. You users don't even have a driving license.
Oi, cannot say like that lah. Too offensive lah.
Hey, sorry, buggy. You users have a driving license, but God also users since you don't dare to drive. Hey, no you. Yeah, but of course, there are times when private hire vehicle is cheaper, but you get the idea. Car sharing surprisingly isn't more expensive than grabbing everywhere, which is why they are so popular. So popular that last year it was reported that its revenue will increase by almost 50% in 4 years. Now, if you're unfamiliar with how it works, here's a brief idea. You basically just book a car through an app or website, and for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to say an app. On the booking date and time, you just need to head to the location, which is usually at a super high level in a multi-story car park, and using the app, you can unlock the vehicle. Cause unlike other vehicles, these vehicles will have 2 locks, one with the usual car keys, and the other that's by the car sharing platform app, which is locked and unlocked remotely. So once the car is unlocked, you then take images and inspect the vehicle and upload the images onto their platform, so that if the car is damaged before you take it, that won't be your liability. After that, you can drive as if the car belongs to you for the entire booking period, cause you got the usual car key, which is usually placed inside the car when you take the car. You just need to return with the same petrol amount when you come back. There are 2 types. One is point A to A, whereby you take and return the car at the same car park. The other is point A to B, whereby you take the car and then return it to another car park instead. In Singapore, only Blue SG is point A to B. Now, according to a CNA documentary, if a person drives fewer than 100 km daily, car sharing is often cheaper. For context, the total length of PIE is 42.8 km. So if you drive 100 km daily, you likely live in Tuas and then work in Changi. Because according to CNA, if you drive less than 20 km daily, the cost for car sharing will be about $500 a month, but owning a car can be much more expensive. But there are still inconveniences, like sometimes we cannot book, sometimes the car smells worse than the staircase in an old Singapore shopping centre, or sometimes the car isn't there when you're at the car park. But here's the thing, one of the concerns that users have is definitely the insurance access fee. For that, let me explain at least you don't drive. You see, when we buy a car, we either have to buy insurance. It's not an option but compulsory. So, when you get into an accident and it's your fault, the insurance company will usually pay for the repairs, whether to your own vehicle or to other people's vehicles. But you have to pay a little amount called the excess, which is usually at $500 regardless of how much the repair fee is. Oftentimes, car owners don't feel the pain of the $500 excess fee, cause the real pain is that when they renew their insurance next year, the premiums will be usually much higher. Nevertheless, at least they won't face a shock repair bill, cause that's what insurance is for, right? But here's the thing. Car sharing companies and car rental companies usually have a much higher excess at thousands for each night, which usually have 2 nights. They call it nights as one night refer to the repairs of your own vehicle and one night is the third party repairs. Some of them call them section. So in total, an accident could lead to a bill shock of up to $10,000 for 2 nights, and it's usually higher for young and inexperienced drivers. For example, for Tribeca, the excess for normal users is $3,000 for own damage and $3,000 for third party. These are even before GST. New driver's access is at $5,000 plus $5,000, so it can go up to $10,000. Now, why so high? So I drove to Tribeca to ask a representative from them.
Hello, Blue Cat.
Hey, hello, Bodo. Hey, before anything, I got a burning question. Why you all put your logo big, walao I cannot see my friends that I have a car where rank 1 and up your Bodo.
We put the logo big such that our users are able to find our vehicles easily in the car parks. And also this serves as a mobile advertisement, which is also a cost savings which we pass down to our customers. The design has also improved to be more subtle over the years.
Okay, whatever. So how come for a typical car owner, the insurance access is like around $500, but it can be so much higher for car sharing cars?
The excess amount is set in accordance with car rental and car sharing norms. We want our users to safeguard themselves by opting in for extra protection like Trap Shield or Collision Damage Waiver. Trap Shield reduces excess to $500 per section, while Collision Damage Waiver reduces up to 50% of the full excess upfront.
Oh, so basically it's like the industry norm, like market rate. So, he's still talking. Well, we ask him a one sentence question. He answered in 10 paragraphs. Macam my wife. Yeah, so basically it's just industry norms. Cause even if you rent a normal car from a company, the access is also at a higher rate, so cannot compare with own car. Now, here's the thing, some firms allow you to pay more for a booking to reduce the access. That was the same as normal insurance. Cause usually the more premiums you pay, the lower the access will be. Now, since the access will be higher if you're young, it might help if you don't eat lamb for 3 weeks, then what kind of joke is that? Now, if you want to know why cars are so expensive, watch this. And also, thank you for spending almost 6 minutes with me. I really appreciate it.